This Autodesk Fusion tutorial shows you how to make intricate 3D printed decorations based on very common craft hexagon paper eggs. These types of eggs are formed by folding pieces of paper and then gluing parts of them down and then making a circle. We can do this in Autodesk Fusion with some surfaces and thicken commands. First, click Modify, Change Parameters. Click the plus button, and we're going to make a parameter of diameter, and this will be 200. Press OK. Then we'll create a sketch on one of the vertical planes. Press C for the center circle tool, click on the origin, and type diameter. Then press L, draw straight over to this line here. Finish the sketch. Then we're going to create a plane at an angle. Select Construct, Plane at an Angle. Click the Z axis, then type 15 degrees. Make a new sketch right on that plane. It rotates everything, but that's okay. Press C to draw a new center diameter circle. This time it will be diameter. Press L to get the line tool. Click in the origin and then draw out to the edge of the circle. Click in the origin, draw straight out to the edge of the circle. Then click on each of these midpoint lines. It should pop up. If it doesn't, you can hold the Shift key to get midpoint and draw perpendicular down. We also need to add a line to help with the tangency of the hexagonal forms. So click straight down at the top and bottom. Make sure these are coincident, then press D and give them a dimension of say 2 millimeters. You can always change this later and you can make it a user parameter. I'm clicking this side so they're the same. Then we can finish the sketch. Here you can see what we have so far. Go to the surface tools, select Create Loft. Start at the bottom, click this first line, then this line, then go over to the other side, then go back, click this line and this line. These control lines allow us to have everything nice, smooth, and tangent. We need to bring our sketch back because it disappeared. Then we're going to make some patches. So click Patch, patch this top surface and this bottom surface. Press OK. Make sure it says New Body, not Combine. Then Create Mirror. We're going to mirror bodies. We want to mirror this body. For the mirror plane, we can bring back the construction plane we used to draw the second circle. And then click that construction plane. It'll default to join most likely, but we want to make this a new body. Press OK. We can hide that construction plane. Then select Create, Thicken. Click the top plane here and the bottom plane. And we can thicken that to 1 millimeter symmetric and make sure it says New Body. Click Create, Thicken again. Click this surface. 1 millimeter symmetric, New Body. Create, Thicken. Select this surface. 1 millimeter symmetric, New Body. We can hide that sketch, and if we look in the Bodies tab here, we can select these surface bodies by holding the Shift key, right-click, and remove. It's always a good idea to remove things in Autodesk Fusion rather than delete them. This is already starting to look great, so now let's go back to the solid workspace. We can marquee select everything or window select, then select Combine. We have one target body, 3 tools. Operation is combine, don't keep the tools. You should see one body in your browser in Fusion. Now select Pattern, make it a circular pattern, select that body. Then for the axes, we want to get the Z axis. Click and hold, select Z. Instead of 3, let's select 12. Because remember, the first thing was 15 degrees for the plane at an angle. Then we made a mirror, so that's 30 degrees. 30 times 12 is 360. So you can adjust those to make different numbers of patterns. Press OK. This is already looking pretty cool. We have this orb that has all these neat things, and you could print it as is. But there's a few problems. If you look right here, we'll fix that when we make the egg shape. For right now, let's create a new sketch on one of the vertical planes. We can hide the bodies for right now. Then press C, draw a center diameter circle, call it diameter -2. Select it, and then make it a construction line. Then select Create, Polygon, Inscribe Polygon, and kind of click over to the side so we don't get any constraints. Drag out. It defaults to a hexagon because hexagons are the bestagons, but press Tab, then 5, so we get a pentagon. Pentagons are cool too. Kind of drag it out to approximately the size of the circle. Then get the vertical horizontal constraint and click the bottom. Press L for the line tool and make sure the line type is construction lines and draw from this corner to this corner, then from this corner to this corner, draw straight across. Then we need to draw from here across And we want to make all of these coincident right here, but first make this locked horizontal. Select Create, Point. I can click this point right here, then use the coincident constraint to make that point coincident to these. Then select Create, Point. Click this point right here and this point right here. Press L from the line tool, draw from the bottom corner up to the top, and from this bottom corner up to the top. Draw from this point up to here, and then draw from this point to here. Select Create, Point, and we'll add some points to these. I want a point right here, a point here, and a point here. You can do this without adding the points, but I find Fusion works better if I go ahead and explicitly add these points. Now we're ready to draw the egg form. Select Create, Arc, Center Point Arc. Make sure we're not drawing construction lines. Click this point, then this point, and this point. That's the top of the egg. Then I can click this point, and this point. That's the bottom of the egg. Select Tangent, click the bottom of the egg. Now that's tangent. Kind of make the egg bigger so Fusion is able to calculate this next one. Click Tangent, the top of the egg, and here. So now we have both of these locked in. I find it's a little easier to do that right away before we draw the other parts of the egg. Then select Create, Arc, Center Point Arc. To draw the sides of the egg, click this far point, then this point, and this point. Then click this point, and from here to here. As you can see, sometimes these arcs move around. So click this point, then coincident, then click this point. Then you can readjust the egg. Now we want to fully constrain the egg. So click horizontal vertical, click this center point and make it horizontal vertical to the center. Now we're starting to lock it down. And then I can move this point out, click this point and make it coincident to this far point here. And now everything should be fully constrained. We need one last thing. We need a center line down the middle of the egg. So click at the bottom, then up at the top, and finish our sketch. Select Revolve, click one side of the egg. Then for the axes, we want to select the center axes. Bring back the bodies. It's going to look like it wants to cut. And this is kind of cool. You can actually cut out some cool forms in the middle here. But we want to use Intersect and then press OK. And now we have all these bodies that are intersected like an egg. You can print this as is, or you can add some fillets or chamfers based on what you need to do. You can marquee select this, select Combine, and then Join, and it should join well. Now I only have one body, and I have a pretty cool hexagon egg that I can use for 3D printing. Hopefully you're able to use this tutorial to make your own hexagon eggs. In a future video, I'll show how you can make more complex patterns with this hexagon paper egg technique for 3D printing in Autodesk Fusion. Happy 3D modeling!